The capital palace of Veora was unlike anything I had ever seen. Rising spires of living crystal shimmered with an iridescent glow, pulsing faintly as though the structure itself was alive. Thousands of alien courtiers, adorned in flowing garments spun from metallic fibers, filled the colossal chamber. Every sound echoed like a ripple through the air. Even a whisper seemed amplified. I had been invited as a human diplomat, one of the first Earth had ever sent to this newly discovered civilization. Veora was ruled not by councils or generals, but by a dynasty known as the Zithari Queens, beings both feared and revered across the stars. They were tall, elegant, insectoid in form, their carapaces jeweled with bioluminescence, their minds connected to an ancient hive intelligence. Protocol demanded I remain calm, humble, and silent until spoken to. Every eye, compound or otherwise, studied me. Even though I wore the ceremonial cloak gifted to me, I could feel how out of place I looked, a lone human in a sea of glittering alien nobility. And then it happened. From the far end of the hall, through the crystal archways, a small figure darted forward. It was quick, barely more than a blur. Some courtiers gasped, others hissed in shock, their wings quivering. The child stumbled, looked around with wide golden eyes, and then, without hesitation, ran straight toward me. Before I could react, the child threw herself behind me, clutching the edge of my cloak. The chamber fell silent. A wave of disbelief spread across the gathered nobles. I turned slightly and looked down. The child's face was delicate yet alien, a miniature version of the towering queen's, though softer, less armored. Her mandibles clicked nervously, and her glowing spots flickered erratically, like a frightened firefly. And then I heard the whispers. The princess. The queen's heir. She hides behind the human. Froze. This wasn't just any child. She was the daughter of the alien queen herself. The beginning of trouble. A thunderous sound filled the air. From the throne at the far end of the hall, the alien queen rose. She was magnificent, nearly 3 times my height, her wings unfurled like sheets of living glass, her carapace refracting light into countless colors. Her gaze, multifaceted and unblinking, fixed upon me with an intensity that made my knees weaken. The courtiers prostrated themselves instantly. I remained standing, though awkwardly, with the trembling child hiding behind me. The queen's voice was both a sound and a vibration in my mind. Human, explain. How could I explain what I didn't understand myself? The child had chosen me, not the other way around. I swallowed, forcing my voice to remain steady. Your Majesty. The princess came to me of her own will. I have done nothing. The queen tilted her head, her antennae twitching. A ripple of unease passed through the chamber. Finally she spoke again. None may touch the heir. None may approach her. Not even the nobles. Yet she seeks you. Why? Had no answer. The child clutched tighter to my cloak. Then the doors at the back of the chamber burst open. A group of armored guards stormed in, their spears humming with contained energy. They fell to one knee before the queen, but their compound eyes darted toward me with hostility. The queen raised one clawed hand to stop them. Wait. No blade shall touch the human. The child has chosen. We must understand why. Secrets of the heir. That night I was not imprisoned, though most of the court clearly wished I had been. Instead, I was brought to a private chamber in the palace. The child remained close, refusing to leave my side. Her name I soon learned was Sirali. Despite her young age, she spoke in halting words of my language. Astonishing, given humans and Zithari had only recently made contact. You, safe, she whispered, mandibles clicking nervously. They want me gone. Her words chilled me. Gone. The heir to the throne. Threatened in her own palace. Over the following days, I pieced together fragments. Cirali was not like other Zithari. She was born different. Her bioluminescence shifted unpredictably. Her telepathic link to the hive was weaker than normal, and she often strayed from the rigid protocols of her kind. Some in the court whispered she was a defect. Others feared her differences could destabilize the delicate balance of their hive-mind monarchy. Yet Cirali possessed something extraordinary. When she spoke to me, I felt her mind brush against mine, gentle and curious, unlike the overwhelming pressure of the Queen's psychic presence. She didn't dominate thoughts, she connected. It was human. And that was precisely what made the court uneasy. The palace conspiracy. One evening, as Cirali and I walked through the crystal gardens, an explosion shook the air. Shards of luminous stone rained down as guards rushed in every direction. Through the chaos, I caught sight of cloaked figures, Zithari nobles, their wings folded tight, fleeing into the shadows. An assassination attempt. Cirali. I didn't think, I just acted. I scooped her into my arms and ran, weaving through the corridors, ignoring the shouts behind me. We ducked into hidden passageways she seemed to know instinctively. Finally, we emerged in a quiet chamber lined with ancient carvings. There, Cirali trembled in my arms, glowing spots flickering wildly. She looked up at me and whispered, "They want no queen who thinks different. They want war." The truth slammed into me. Cirali represented change. A queen who might forge bonds not just within her hive, but beyond, even with species like mine. To the old guard of Veora, that was a threat. If Cirali died, the traditionalists would control the throne. And war with Earth would be inevitable. Confrontation with the Queen. The next morning, we were summoned before the Queen herself. The conspirators had been captured, though the Queen's fury shook the very foundations of the palace. Her multifaceted gaze turned to me once more. "You sheltered my child. You risked yourself when even my own nobles faltered. Why?" I hesitated only a moment. "Because she is more than your heir. She represents something greater. The possibility that your kind and mine can truly understand each other. She trusted me when no one else would. I couldn't betray that." Silence hung in the chamber. The courtiers murmured, scandalized. No human had ever spoken so boldly before the Queen. But then a strange sound filled the air. The Queen was laughing. A deep, resonant clicking like crystal chimes. "You speak boldly, human. And you are right." The court gasped. The Queen continued. "My daughter's differences frighten them. But to me they are hope. Perhaps the future of our kind is not in clinging to the old hive, but in forging a new path. She has chosen you as her protector. So be it." And with that, the Queen turned to the assembled nobles. "Let it be known, the human is under royal protection. Any who threaten Cirali threaten me." The chamber erupted in shocked protests, but none dared defy her. A bond forged in shadows. Weeks passed. Cirali remained close to me, no longer just hiding behind my cloak, but walking proudly at my side. The Queen often summoned us, sometimes to council meetings, sometimes to private lessons in the ways of the hive. But not all threats had vanished. Whispers of rebellion simmered in the dark corners of the palace. Nobles still doubted me. Some despised the idea of a human influencing the heir.